Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Mexico City Conquistadors and our home team. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Drake will start the drive on the ground. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Check.
On first down, Drake. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Slam. Alert. He's coming. We got double up. Pilot, 64, weak.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards there, and the Chargers have a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Monday.
On first down, it's Drake. And he'll get this across midfield to the 48. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Rosen. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Check 99! Check 99! Hey, alert, alert!
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time, because let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Check 43! Monday. Recon, 132 fighter. Check back 12. Bravo. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
On third down, Rosen. Open man has got it. It's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
First and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Hug. Pull it together. Motion. Hey, check motion.
They'll run with Drake. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. You don't see that a ton, do you? A cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
Watch the ball. 58, right over.
Win. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it third and 10.
They do not score.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Two runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's third and 10. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker, as he'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up fourth down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And his kick here is good. And the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. That drive just seemed to go for an eternity. I could kind of hear our sponsor saying, hey, we need to get our product pushed here. But then it ends in a field goal.
Yeah, how about that? Not enough time for product placement, but plenty of time to get 3 points out of the deal. I know that the guys on defense, though, they wanted to get those products out there. They wanted to stop that drive, just weren't able to do so.
Let's go.
First down and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Come on, set. 60 or. Defense, let's go. Out 61. Matchbox lights. Checking. Crash. Watch twist. Go.
They begin on the ground with Camara. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
50, plant.
Check 52, come on. It's been a long day for you. He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up.
Check. 2.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stern, and that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time, and it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Hug. Protein spill.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Hey, alert 3.
Monday.
SOS.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And down to the 27-yard line. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
I got you, boy. Shift. Watch the shift.
Middle.
The handoff to the right side. It's Drake. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Go.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58.
Play action here with Rosen. And he hits Drake. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join, who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Here we go. 15-1. 15-1. Throw out.
To throw on 3rd down. Stern. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
On three. Motion.
They'll run with McCaffrey. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now Rosen. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So first and 10 now from the 30.
It's our field. It's our field. Hey, alert, alert. 12. Mike 12. They're going to need some therapy after this. Mike 12.
Here's Rosen to throw. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Ball on the 30 as they come up second and 10. Now Rosen looking to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Rosen now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down.
Mike 12. Mike. Monday. Watch the slip. Watch the slip. Mike 12. Mike 12.
Rosen to throw again. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Final play of the half here. It's Rosen. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal.
Brings up second and 4.
They'll come up now second and 4 from the 31.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Chopper!
Press him. Hey, watch it. Watch it. Watch safety creep. Watch it.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38.
You got 80 weapons. You got tight right there. Shoot. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Watch out. Check.
He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally taken down at the 34. That's good for 28 yards.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. Now Kamara. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Ready up.
54. Mike 54.
And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14.
Delta. Get it.
From the gun, Stern. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that will be incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
They'll start the drive with Drake. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged him and won the battle.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Switch. On them right. 58 to Mike.
3rd and long here for Rosen. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Running, it's Drake. And he'll go down at the 28.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Right back to Drake. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 12 more yards there and another first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
And the conversion good. He's got it. So the lead swells to 16-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 22-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Ready?
To throw again. Stern. And his throw here's incomplete.
When everything is in sync on defense, that means everyone's communicating really well, and sometimes it's nonverbal. They just know that when a receiver's in one spot, this person may have him, and he's in another spot, the next defender may have him. And they've squeezed the passing lanes down to where it's so difficult to find an open area to deliver the football. They've made it tough on them all game long.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
On third down, Stern. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go.
After the interception, here's Rosen. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now Drake. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. Touchdown, LA! A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the interception by the Chargers D leads to a touchdown. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And it is now 21-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 20-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Joker.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Stern. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 18 yards there and a 1st down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Back now in Los Angeles. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Now they try the right side here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 45-yard line.
Here we go. Set. Leo. 90 Wolf.
Time to go. Night.
Look at me. Zipper. Now.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Hey, echo.
Rush in. 54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Out.
Yep.
Mike 54. Mike 54. Your track.
On fourth down, Stern. And it is incomplete. The fourth down pass play doesn't work out. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position.
Hard. We own them.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now a handoff for Drake. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Chargers on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 8.
Check hot route. Hot.
Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. The Chargers on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 8.
58 to Mike.
Hey, Foxtrot.
From the gun, it's Rosen. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he's taken down inside the 30. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Mike 58 right there. You better bring it. Monday. I'm letting you know.
They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down.
Well, partner, if we had their entire playbook in front of us, I'm not sure we would have picked out that play as the one to run in that situation. How about the guts of the offensive coordinator? Dialing that one up into great success.
Not today, you won't. Not today.
All right, here we go.
They'll run on first down. Drake. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Check 24. Check 24.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. From 10 yards out, the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Extra point right down the middle, and it is 28-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara, and he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Come on, let's go. Check.
Ready.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Keep playing hard, fellas, all day. Whoa. Let's get it.
So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A 10th carry for Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
Set up. 60 or.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Let's go.
They run it again with Kamara. And to the 49-yard line, but no further. And obviously he is well short of the first. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
Let's go.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Even. 4th down. Even. Watch that.
Bravo.
On 4th down, Stern nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. Rosen's going to throw it. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Looked like it might have been intercepted, but he's out of bounds. And a good thing, too, probably. That would have cost him yardage. And now they'll get the ball back on the turnover on downs. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
I'm coming after you. Check three.
Hey, alert. Hey, zoom.
58, boy, 58, Mike. Here we go.
Here's Rosen. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
Go. Look, squeeze. Hit it.
On 1st and 10, Stern. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Watch the safety creep.
Now. Hey, lock it. Hey, wahoo. Now.
2nd and long. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Intercepted. The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. So long, everybody.